And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Throwing. Winston goes underneath to Martin. And he gets it down to the 32. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. So completion on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd. They'll run it. Here's Martin. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
He'll set up the screen to Lacey. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 7. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
3rd down now following the completed pass. Hundley a sneak. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the first.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
I can't help it. I'm just...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now this time Rodgers will throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
8 yards on the screen there, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Rodgers now on 1st down. And Nelson's got it here right side. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because
Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. So the long field goal attempt winds up awry, and we have reached the intermission. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They come up in an offset eye. To throw, it's Rodgers. Caught by Cobb. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb with touchdown number 7 on the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. Second down, Winston. He gets it to Humphries. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They run the counter with Martin. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. From the gun, Winston. Drops it off to Martin. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Winston. They set up the screen to Martin. Past the 20. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
He was looking for Jaquiz Rodgers there, and that'll bring up second down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
On second down, Martin. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Rodgers now to throw. Got him in. Complete. This is Richard Rodgers. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3. And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And down inside the 15 he goes.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
This will be caught just inside the 10. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And the seemingly endless drive Rodgers to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
And a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And it'll be a turnover on downs. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Back to throw. Goes underneath to Martin. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
One receiver to the left is Evans. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Nick Perry with a pick. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try to close it out now. One back is Lacey. He's going to get the football. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now the Buccaneers offense gets set to head back onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves.
He's got a man complete. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 42 yards. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Winston. And at this stage, down in the second half, it's caught at the 10. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. And they're going to speed things up here. Winston to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part one of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. 25 seconds to go. A must recover if they're going to have any chance. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. One back is Lacey, and they'll give it to him here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now hang on here, timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. They run it again with Lacey. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Here we go with Lacey. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Knox in the house, right? And I go by the name of Wyclef. I bought the band. And we need all the ladies to report on the dance floor. And you know my slogan, no fighting in the home.
I've been knocking when I met you, shorty had the long extension. Told her I'm a Batman, but I only got the best intention. Tougher, not a bluff. I don't want you to be Molly, don't have to take it undercover.